Hello friends, welcome to my humble homestead and garden side chat. Well, today we're gonna spend the day just doing some things in the kitchen, around the house, and I was just like getting some things out. But anyway, so today, let me bring you down here. I'm gonna do some things. The first thing, I need to get some things together for my kitchen. So I am out here of my disinfectant wipes. Part of the things that I do to save money and just health-wise is I make my own disinfectant wipes. Super easy, super inexpensive, so much less toxic. I think they smell much better. I did show this in another video. It took me forever to find it. So I thought since it took me to find it, I will add it on this video again. I've also had a couple of people ask for it. Let's go ahead and make this together. All right, so I'm going to start with this because then I can use what I like to do is just keep these and take one out and wipe everything up as I'm making things. So I just use, and yes, for my cleaning stuff, I do use plastic containers. I try to use mostly glass when I cook. That's what I try to do. I don't have 100% glass. So these are these little, at Walmart, they had like a box of these little microfiber cloths for like $5. I think there's like 80 of them. And I just you can see this one's kind of dingy because I rewash them until they're just not usable anymore, and then I throw them. I literally have maybe thrown one or two. So I throw these in here, and then I just cut up old towels and t-shirts. They work as well. So I start by putting these in my bucket like that, and then white vinegar. This is my cleaning vinegar. I use the white vinegar for cleaning. I put maybe about a cup. I don't measure. You guys can measure. So maybe about a cup and a half. Then rubbing alcohol. This is what makes it like super disinfectant. Cleans like 99% point whatever of the dirt. So I put about 1/4 of a cup in there. I kind of put it in a little, you could do it before you put the rags in there too, but I just kind of put it in a little corner there. And then about a cup of water. I do use distilled water, or I just take it out of my refrigerator, or you can just boil water too. So as you see, that's kind of a lot. Now, to make it smell good, what I do, so I usually use the lemongrass and the tea tree for most of my cleaning products. Tea tree does offer some extra, tea tree and eucalyptus offer some extra antibacterial. Lemongrass, I like citrus in the way that my stuff smells. The other one that I use in my disinfectant wipes is orange and geranium. I'm almost thinking about combining the three. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the three. I'm going to do lemongrass, the tea tree, and the geranium. That just sounds good to me. So I'm just going to move these over. And in my little water at the bottom, I'm going to do 6 of each. And then I'm just going to do 6 of the tea tree and 6 of the lemongrass. And I shake it up, the lemongrass. All right, so then what I do is I just put this on. And then I flip it upside down and I shakey, 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 shake. Pretty good. And then when I need to wipe something off, I just take one out and I wring it out. And I have a bunch of these in the washing machine right now, so when they come out and dry, I'll just throw these in too, because that's why I get it so wet. Ugh, and it smells so good. And then I just use it to like wipe down countertops here and stuff like this. And then this one, since my countertop's clean, I'll just hang on the sink and I'll just use this for the rest of the time while I'm cooking. So since it has disinfected, unless I cook with something gross, like, not gross, but you know what I mean, like meat or something, then I'll toss it and use a new one. That is how I make my disinfectant wipes. So the next thing on my agenda, what I'm going to do is I have all of this burger in my fridge that I found in my freezer. So I found all of this burger here. I pulled it all out of my freezer. And this is what I'm going to use to make a big old pot of burger soup. And I'm going to make a big pot of burger soup because I have some canned tomatoes and I forgot to pull them out of the freezer. Shoot. Well, that's okay. I'm going to pull them out of the freezer. I'm going to rinse them off so I can pull the skins off. I have a bunch of tomatoes in my freezer as well that I never canned. I never got to canning those. So I'm just gonna rinse those off in my sink, take the skins off. I'm gonna rinse off the tomatoes and skin them. And then I'm going to throw those in, use up some of my canned tomatoes, my frozen organic veggies from Aldi, make a big, and some of my dried herbs and stuff, make a big pot of burger soup. I'll take you along for that. And then I'll probably can a bunch of it. So, all right, see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. So right now, I am just going to brown up this burger that I had found. It's still frozen. I took it out of my freezer last night and I put it in my fridge to thaw. It's partially thawed. I mean, I could have just did it in my Instapot, which I normally do, but since I'm making a big pot of soup in here, I'm just going to brown it up. I also had some onions in my freezer that were in a freezer bag that I wanted to use up so I didn't get freezer burned. I do have some fresh onions, but I'll find something else to use those for. So I have some garlic, onion, ground beef in here. I'm going to add just a few peppercorns. I need to grind up some more pepper, so I'm going to add just a few peppercorns in here and a little bit of salt to start out with, just to get this meat browning. And while this is browning, I'm just going to go over to the sink and I'm going to take the skin off of those tomatoes. I've had them soaking in cold water just to try to loosen the skin off of them. And then I'm going to take those off, and then when this is brown, I'm going to throw that in there. And then for broth, I have this tomato juice, this canned tomato juice that I saved. I'm going to throw, I have a thing of chicken broth, and then I also have this lamb broth I'm going to throw in here. And then with the tomatoes in this, I'm just going to let it cook down, and the chicken broth, I'm going to see how that looks. And then I'm going to see how much more liquid I need to use at that point. I'm going to just start cleaning stuff off of my pantry and going with that. So I'm going to let this brown up. I'm going to go take the skin off the tomatoes, and then I will see you back. I was going to see if I could show you how easy this comes off here. So I'm just rinsing these under cold water, and I just am peeling them, and they just peel off just like this. I did not can these or process them. I'm just going to put them directly into my soup and mush them up that way. It would be easier if they were a little more thawed, but they're not. So I was supposed to take them out last night, and I did not. It's just going to take me a little extra time. See you in a bit. So I have been peeling and coring and cutting up these frozen tomatoes. I am putting them in right away because they're frozen, and I think it's going to be like a all day cooking them down since they're frozen, which I think it's going to give it just layers and layers of flavor. I'm so excited. When I watch Becky from Acre Home, she always talks about layering flavors in, so I'm hoping this works. Trying to take some notes from all my fellow homesteaders and chefs and people that I watch. So I'm hoping this is going to add some extra depth of flavor. I put some bay leaves in there, some Italian seasoning. I put my green powder, my Z powder, just a bunch of other things in there to add some extra flavors. So I'm going to keep working on these tomatoes. I did take out some homemade applesauce. I was going to make some applesauce bread in my bread machine because my son sent me a Snapchat of him snowblowing his driveway, so I was hoping that that meant that he was still gonna bring the kids over so him and his wife could go on a date night. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping they still come over, and then I'll walk you over. My kitchen's starting to become a mess because of all the things that I'm doing here. But so I thought what I'd do is I'd grind up some wheat berries and make a regular loaf of bread while that's cooking, because that would make a yummy supper with some bread. Hamburger soup with some bread. Okay, so now I have all the tomatoes in there. It is looking and smelling amazing. And I'm trying to make a big pot because I'm gonna can some up to have some on my shelf. So I do have 2 quarts of chicken broth, 1 pint of tomato sauce. I don't think I'm going to put any more canned tomatoes in here because these are plenty of tomatoes. But I did find 2 jars of onion broth in my freezer. that I am defrosting in cold water in my sink. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be delicious. So if I need any more liquid after all of these cook down and all of that other liquid, I will add those. I think that would add some delicious flavor. All right, so now I'm gonna go find my recipe for the bread, and I will grind up my wheat berries and we will move on to that. See you in a minute. So here is the status on the burger soup so far. So I added a few bags of the organic Aldi vegetables. I added in a can of green beans and a can of carrots with the liquid. So that added in some more liquid. I added in half of the jar that has been defrosting of both of the onion broths, and we're just gonna keep letting this simmer. Over here, I'm just gonna grind up these wheat berries here. I'm just gonna make a loaf of bread and let that cook and rise while the soup is cooking. See you in a bit. I'll show you as I bake it. I'm just not gonna show you as the grinder goes because it's really loud. And I did show you the unboxing video of this grinder and how it works. It does work really well. I'm happy with it. Okay, see you soon. Okay, welcome back, friends. So I am going to go ahead and make a loaf of bread here in my bread machine. I just ground up the last of this is the soft wheat berries. I need less of this one. You guys, when you grind up your own flour, it smells so fresh and delicious. It's just nothing better than it. And if you are gluten-free and you need to do like oat flour or almond flour, you know, it's so easy and much more cost-effective to grind up your own that way too. A lot of times I'll sift it. I do have a sifter. Honestly, I'm making a whole grain bread. I don't mind that it's gonna have all of the thick grains in it. I'm actually putting some steel cut oats in it as well, so it'll be more of a dense bread. Rinse that out here in a moment. For my bread machine, I have this bread pan, and it comes with this little measuring cup. I'm actually using a recipe out of the book. It says 170 milliliters of water, and it measures it right in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that there. Then the next ingredient is 2 big spoons. It has a big and a little spoon. 2 big spoons of butter. So this would be 1. I'm assuming the big spoon is a tablespoon. There, so we got 2 big spoons, and they want you to put these in the order that they're red. So, oh, actually, I'm going to do the bigger loaf. So I'm going to do 210 milliliters of water. One moment. 40 more milliliters. It says 3 big spoons of butter. So let me add another big spoon of butter there. Okay. And then 1 small spoon of salt. 3.5 ounces of whole wheat flour. And then it says 10.6 ounces of strong flour. I'm not sure what they mean by that. So what I did was I have the soft wheat flour and I have my hard wheat berry flour. Let me see. I'm going to see how much of the soft wheat. Usually when you make bread, you use the soft wheat flour. So I'm going to see how much I have of that. I'm going to see if I have the 10.6 ounce. Okay, so this is almost 8 ounces, which is, a cup. Yeah, a cup, which is 8 ounces. So I'm gonna use all of the soft wheat that I ground, and then I'm gonna finish it off with the hard wheat. Then we need 3.5 ounces of whole wheat flour, so I'm just gonna use this. And then 3.5, it says healthy oats. So I am definitely gonna use my steel cut oats. Put that in there as well. And then it says 1 egg. So I took out 3 eggs because I wasn't sure if I was going to get to the applesauce bread. These are the ones that I had preserved. I got that one. And I rinsed them off. And 1 small spoon of baking powder. And that is it. All right, so now let's put this in to the bread machine here. Okay, let's go ahead and plug in this bread machine and get this bread going. Multi-grain bread is 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we hit start. Ta-da! And then let the machine do the work. And then I think before I sit down and take a break, I think I'm going to make some chia pudding to have another option. I did make farmer's porridge, but so I'm going to use up the chia seeds I have and make some chia pudding. And honestly, you guys, I do this different every time as well. I knew I had those measuring cups out for something. Can of coconut milk here. But you know what I'm going to use instead of this? I got almond milk and I got some plain Greek yogurt. So I think I'm going to use both of those. All right, that will be perfect. And then let's see. So what I do is super simple. I just take 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in each of these smaller jars. And these are great because they can sit in your fridge, you know, for like a week. And I do like them with coconut milk too. They kind of add a little coconutty taste. And I do have like some dried kiwi and, you know, dried fruits that I put in there sometimes with them. So, and actually I think I'm going to get that. I kind of do whatever sounds good. And when I was looking through my pantry for stuff to put in my soup, I found, I believe these are nectarine or peaches. Yes, I think they're either peaches or nectarine and kiwi. I'm going to take out my little pack thing here. And I'm going to put some of these in there, make it a little tropical. I also bought bananas, so if I even when I eat them, if I want to slice a little banana in there, that will be good, and that will add my sweetness. I also sometimes put a little bit of vanilla in there because I don't think I did not get vanilla almond milk. And this was on sale at Costco, so I did get it. I didn't have any almonds to make my own or cashews. So I just put just a little bit of, a little drop. Then I'm going to put a half a cup of milk in each of these. You guys, this is so good and it's so easy to make and it's full of protein and healthy stuff. And it's, I mean, even kids love it. It's like such a great treat. So I did that, and then I'm just going to put like 2 tablespoons of yogurt in there. I'm just going to do that because, you know, I do take probiotics, but every extra probiotic I can get, I'm going to take. I'm going to add this in here. Sometimes I'll just do just this and honey, nothing else. Sometimes I'll just do this and maybe monk fruit, monk sweetener, nothing else. But now I'm going to do fruit instead as my sweetener. And maybe slice up a banana, a little bit of a banana in them, and see how that does. If I ever need extra sweetener, I can use like, you know, a little monk sweetener, a little honey. Sometimes I use blackstrap molasses. Sometimes I'll do that. More magnesium, potassium. I love the organic vanilla yogurt that they have at Aldi, but it was so funny. There was another guy and we were standing in the aisle. He's like, am I in your way? And I'm like, no, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. And he goes, me either. And I'm like, are you looking for the vanilla organic? He's like, yes. I'm like, oh, I bet they don't have it. So both of us kind of hunted. We didn't find it. So break a little bit in each. And then I'm thinking they should rehydrate it when because I sit these overnight. So I'm just going to do this up. I'm going to mix these up. And then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these in the fridge overnight. Or, you know, I do have farmer's porridge. So whenever I feel like this, if I don't feel like farmer's porridge, but I like to have one of these with like a pickled egg. And that's a perfect breakfast for me. I still try to do the intermittent fasting. So I try to have like, you know, like a nice sized breakfast, which that is. And then, you know, like a good dinner, which is 4:30. I normally eat between now and 6 anytime. So whenever this bread is done, I actually honestly don't even need bread. And I'll probably have some of that burger soup for dinner. And then I'll probably rest a little bit and then I'm going to can it and then save some for the week. That is what I'm gonna finish up this video with. This has been a really fun, productive day. So we're done with that. I'm gonna let my bread cook, the soup cook. We'll just keep watching the rest of the stuff after, of course, I clean this mess up. But all right, thanks so much, guys. So now I'm going to try to take my soup and pressure can some so I can have some on the shelf. So that is what I'm gonna do right now. I actually have some quart jars. I thought I'd try to do quarts. I normally bring the pot over to my island, but we'll see how this does. That's the bread machine talking. So I'm gonna fill these up, and then I will show you them as I get them in the pressure cooker, and then I will process them, and we will show you what we have. Okay, so these are my last 2 jars. Get the air bubbles out, and then I wipe off the rims. I do have videos on pressure canning for those of you who are interested. This is my Presto pressure canning, but really this is just a day today spent together in the kitchen. I'm going to bring the pressure up to where I need it to be in my area, which is between 10 and 12 pounds. It's hard for me to keep it rated exactly that. And then I'm going to process it, and then I will turn the heat off, let the pressure down, cool it all the way down, and then go from there. Here is what I have. I did quarts. So I have 7 quarts, and this is what I have left, which is plenty. I'll show you everything when it's done, you guys. But thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen. Like and share. Have a great rest of your day. Be blessed. So I was all excited thinking I was done in the kitchen for today, but I forgot that I had bought these 2 packs of mushrooms, and I bought these sweet onions and green peppers. And so I went in my freezer and I was like, okay, what kind of meat can I take out? And I'm just literally gonna bake them up in my air fryer oven. So I'm gonna spray my pan with this olive oil spray that I got. And I am going to dice up these onions, these green peppers. I'm going to put my meat down in the pan. I really wanted to have steak because I love steak and mushrooms. I found a pork collar steak. I don't know what that is, but I'm just going to chop these up, put them in a pan, bake them in the oven, and then this is what I'll have with my soup for the week. So those will be my meals. I think that'll be awesome. It'll work great. I will have cooked for the entire week. I might even have enough to freeze individual meals. Probably will, actually. So it'll be great. That's what I love, doing these big kitchen days, and then I'm set for a very long time. So thanks so much, you guys. I will show you pictures, but I did forget I had more cooking to do. But hey, it'll be done. It's all good. You guys saw I went 10 weeks without grocery shopping, and really I didn't do a lot of cooking either, because it's days like these that take care of it all. So be blessed. Bye. All right, so finishing up that meat, I have some turkey sausages and vegetables, and some burger and vegetables, and my canned soup. So these ones I have for the freezer, and I still have 5 meals left to go in my fridge for the week with some leftover soup. So this is how I meal prep, and then these are going to be covered and wrapped, put in the freezer, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra meals to go in the freezer. That's how I cook ahead. Very easy way. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Be blessed. Have a great day.